Modified two-wheel drive A1 for our NorCal 2wd Racing Throwdown on the tone, guys. Have fun. So we've got Cav, LaRiviere, Layton, and DeBrino. Literally, any of these people can win this race. Corner marshals, I need you on your toes. Oh man, Layton sets it up right there, backed off, and then Doug made a little mistake. So Layton, LaRiviere, and DeBrino, 2, 3, 4 onto the back straight. Cav opens it up to 8/10 already on lap number 2. He went 11-8 on lap number 2, 12 flat for Kyle, 12-7 for Dougie, and 12-4 for Andy. Here comes Cavallari on to the straightaway for lap number 4, 11:66. 11:72 for Kyle, 11:83 for Dougie Fresh, and 12 flat for Andy DeBrino. I'm really interested to see how Andy does in this one. I have a feeling he's going to do quite a bit better than he did in those IFMAR qualifiers because DeBrino was moving all day yesterday, and heads-up racing is just better for some than others. But right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 over the front side tabletop. DeBrino with a nice save right there, and he is trying to get to the back of Dougie. Right now, the battle for the 1 and 2 is closing up. Cavallari and Layton. I'm going to say it right now. Kyle Layton, the owner of Auburn RC. If you haven't ran Dirt Oval, you should go give it a try. And you should do it at Auburn RC up in Auburn, California. Go give it a try. Go check out Cheetah Racing for some of their products. Go up to Auburn, California, and do some Dirt Oval racing. Right now, Kyle Layton going 11.536. Fast lap of the race in the second spot. Cavallari opening it up right there, 11.48 that time. Cavallari slapping those words right out of my mouth. He's going 11.5 probably this time. That was a fast lap. 11.8 to Kyle's 11.5. Man. Cavallari and Layton just mimicking each other right now through the left side of the track, hitting those lines as perfect as you can. And Cavallari, the only thing he's doing different that I'm seeing from Kyle is he's jumping just a little farther into the pop tabletop and showing that jumping it isn't really any faster to jump it all the way over. Oh, Kyle with the smallest little bobble right there. It's probably going to make it a 12-second lap. But the left side of the track, they are identical. Then Doug and Andy in the 3 and 4. Right now, everybody's still within 4 seconds. Cavallari opens it up. That lap with the bobble for Kyle was 11.81. That is incredible. 11.6 that time around for Cav. 11.62 for Kyle. And here comes Andy catching up a little bit to Dougie Fresh. 11.6 that time by for Andy. 11.74 for Doug. So you can really see the tenths of a second when these guys are running so close together every single time. Little bobble there for DeBrino. 2 corners in a row. 1, 2 over the front side table. Here comes Dougie 3 and Andy 4 over that front side table. It looks like Kyle will make up a couple tenths for a couple laps, and then he will just make the tiniest bobble. 11.58 for Andy that time around. He is figuring it out here. And A1, Cavallari makes a little mistake. Anybody help him out. That's going to be it. So Kyle Layton going to have the rest of this one to himself for 1 minute. One little mistake for Cavallari, and corner marshals going to be part of that one. So Doug LaRiviere going to have a little mistake also and lose 3rd place and 2nd place. So Andy going to go up to the 2 spot. I said heads up might play into his favor a little bit, and I didn't think it'd be like that. But your leader, Kyle Layton, Auburn RC, Cheetah Racing, B7 through the front side. And he just went 11.7 3 times in a row. We're going to see what he does that time. 11.7 again, so Kyle Layton 4.5 seconds up. We're going to watch Cavallari go crazy here for 20 seconds and try and get to Andy. Let's see what happens. Andy goes 11.6, 11.7 for Cav, 11.5 for your leader. Good save there by Dougie Fresh. 11-9 to an 11-4 for Cavallari. So he makes up a half second right there. Let's see if they make it around for one more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Andy gets caught, and so does Ryan and Doug. So Andy DeBrino holds on for a second, but more importantly, Kyle Layton takes the win in A number 1 over Andy, Cav, and Doug LaRiviere. Those are less than 5 for modified two-wheel at the NorCal Throwdown by 1UP Racing on the Tone. And that is how you do it. Thank you. Little mess up right there by Layton at the beginning. It's going to put Doug right on Cav's tail. One, two, three down the back straight. Cavallari only 3/10 up on Dougie Fresh. 11-6 for him, 11-8 for Dougie. Then 11-8 for Andy, 11-7 for Kyle. Andy came out of nowhere at the end of this one, and he benefited off of some other issues with the racers, and guess what? That's called racing. So we're going to see what he can do here. He's right there in third right now with Dougie and Cav together. Layton having some fumbles. He won the first one, and he's in fourth right now, but we still got 3 minutes and 40 seconds of racing left. 1, 2, 3 through the pop tabletop. And Doug deciding to check up over that tabletop that time. That might put him at a 12-second lap. 11-6 to a 12:08. 40 plus, you guys are up after this in 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Beautiful job getting down the straightaway that time by Doug. He definitely made up a little time in the sweeper. 11:6:07 that time for Doug. That's fastest lap of the race for everybody. 11:74 for Cav. That time he goes 11:53 and Doug goes 11:48. He said, I can do it too, baby. We're going to see what the chainsaw by Doug LaRiviere can do this time. 11:55 for Cav, 11:8 for Doug. So he loses a couple tenths right there, and DeBrino goes 11:6. $220 down, $240 to go, and DeBrino is working his way in. 11:58 that time around. Oh, almost a fumble there by Doug, but he saved it. Nose manualing onto the pad over there before he got onto the straightaway right now. Cavallari opens it up just to over a half second. And right as I say that, I laugh because it's like Doug reads what I'm going to say. And he just makes that time right back up. 11:7 to an 11:49. 1/100th off fast lap of the race for Dougie Fresh. That's where he makes the time up right there. Boom, shakalaka for Cav. He almost gives it up and then wheels him. That's called side by side. But my goodness, that couldn't have been any closer. And here's Andy DeBrino. This is what happened at the end of last race. Let's see what he can do. He's got to keep doing what he's been doing. He cannot start pushing it. But I know Andy DeBrino knows that, and I'm just preaching to the choir. So let's see what Andy can do. Cavallari has to take advantage of not having anybody right on him right now. He's got almost an 0.8 of a second lead, and in modified, that's enough for you to breathe. In stock racing, this would be insanely close, but in modified, they're used to it. You should be winning this, bro. I'm already at 5. I already got one. I got a 6.5. Cavallari and Andy making it around, but Doug is oh man, I jinxed him. I was gonna say Doug was making up serious time right there. So now it's just Andy and Ryan. Let's see what they can do with the minute 10. 11:8 to 11:6 for Andy. Another little bobble for Ryan right there. My goodness, Andy gets through that pop tabletop good. Cavallari's really starting to whip it out over that front tabletop. Oh man, Andy couldn't do any better over that left side. Coming up on 40 seconds to go. Oh man. That's been Andy's struggle the entire last 2 days, is the end of that straightaway. And he was hitting it perfect this whole race. So Cavallari gonna take a breath. "15 seconds left to go, so they're gonna do this one and one more. Ryan Cavallari, that white, yellow, and red paint job through that mini table and down the straightaway with 5 seconds left to go. I want to take this moment while they're on the track to thank Andy, to thank Ryan, to thank Eric, the one behind the camera, and One Up Racing in general for coming out. Congratulations to Ryan Cavallari for taking home the win in A2. Congratulations to Andy for getting second, to Dougie Fresh for third, and Kyle Layton going to come home in fourth.